Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. I really do not understand the culture of celebrity worship. It's something that, even when I was a kid around the age where people start putting posters of, rock bands and people like that up on their walls, I wasn't that kind of a kid. Yes, I enjoy rock music. Always have. Get some Metallica, get some AC/DC, throw it in the speaker. I'm right there. Even such fare as Louis Armstrong. You name it, I love music. But I'm not going to base my life around the opinions of a celebrity. Same with actors. I know generally Harrison Ford picks good movies to star in. He's had the odd dud, but generally he reads over the script ahead of time. Don't care about his personal life. Don't care about really anything that he does. He's a good actor. That's as far as I'm willing to push it. But when I see such nonsense going on about things, I have to comment. I just have to step in. So Britney Spears decided to go out and remove her shirt. You know what? Good for her. Her body, her choice. I have zero issue with her doing it. But never thought she was particularly attractive. Never thought she was ugly. But she was just in that category where neither attracted nor repulsed by her. Yes, she is obviously a beautiful woman, and a lot of people would hold that in high esteem. Her life has been a train wreck. Now, for that, I feel sorry for her. That Disney media conglomerate likes to bring in young people and spit them out. It's really something I should take a bigger look at sometime. But people who are commenting on the fact that they don't find this display of a person's body as necessary or useful are being attacked for ageism. Now, Britney Spears is 40 years old. I know Cheryl Tiegs was posing for Sports Illustrated into her 50s and 60s, and I think she just did a cover this last year. Very attractive woman. So, is it ageist? Or is it that people are just kind of sick of Britney Spears' stuff? Everything she has done has been for attention. Cute little note. It's interesting she pulls this, excuse me, because last November she got her custodianship back from her parents, saying she was being abused by her family, but she was given custodianship to her parents because she was abusing herself so badly. And mysteriously, a couple of days ago, she signed a book deal. That's right. Britney Spears is bringing out a new book. And mysteriously, she suddenly decides to show more than her cleavage. It's always interesting what they do rather than what they say. Now, no problem with Britney Spears as a singer. She has some good toe tappers, and I'd be lying if I didn't say she had some catchy tunes that I'm not going to complain if they come on the radio. But her showing her chest, she's done that before. This is nothing new, and I'll put money on the table, she'll probably do it again. Just because of all the attention she's getting for it this time. Other women in her age bracket and older have done it before her. We got all this attention focused on her simply because she's a name people recognize. Not really a good thing to base your life around. And forgive me for picking on Britney Spears. She's just an example of what the intention of my show today is. So, sorry to Britney Spears. Not attacking you. Again, I support your decisions as a human being. Not interested in them. But this dovetails into another conversation that I've wanted to go through for a long time. And it's honestly toxic. Isn't that a Britney Spears song? I actually did not intend that. But I'm going to keep it now that it's there. When you look at sports teams and sports stars, yeah, Hollywood actors and actresses do get away with a lot of stuff. But the stuff that goes on in sports is enough to make your hair curl, if it's not curly already. I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks have shown that they allow sexual predators to function in their minor leagues. And this is not an accusation. This is a proven fact. It's driven people to suicide and worse. And these are people, again, I have supported athletes in the past on the basis of their salaries. They deserve it. But on the other hand, the system is set up against them. You have to go through predatory coaches who are willing to cut you on a whim. You have to deal with people who are obsessed with the sport and think their little one is the next great one. And it's a lot of pressure on kids who are just there hopefully trying to have fun. And this translates over into the big leagues. And people are willing to sit there, buy jerseys with somebody else's name on the back of it, and cheer a team, all of whom are essentially free agents and can go anywhere they want or even choose not to play next year. You're loyal to the athletes are not loyal to you. At least Britney Spears doesn't hide the fact she's a free agent. She's got a product to sell, and if you're not buying, she's willing to sell it to the next person. Whereas I'm going to pick on the Toronto Maple Leafs because they're one of the biggest organizations in hockey. They're the most well-known, and the show's based out of Toronto. So it's kind of natural for me to pick on them. The media market is just so saturated with them that during the off-season, if one of the players, is seen socializing with anybody they're not supposed to, and, be that a drug dealer, a politician, whatever, this is front page news. And I imagine it's the same in the United States when the NFL players do their various things. There's no real athletes who are saints. And the system is really set up against them. Most professional players have a lifespan of about 2 to 3 years. And then they're cut, they're back in the minors, or they're out of their sport entirely. It's a dangerous system. The other thing that's funny, I only found this out with Brian Flores. For those of you who are not familiar with Brian Flores, he was the former coach of the Miami Dolphins. He's currently a defensive coach, I think Chicago? I might be wrong, I'm not sure. But Brian Flores is suing the league for allegedly not hiring people of minorities when minority people are the ones that mostly play the game. And this is true. But unfortunately, it's a system set up against the athletes. If you're not the best athlete in the world, but you show some aptitude towards coaching and leadership, they might pull you aside in college and say, hey, your track time is not that great, and, you have trouble catching the ball, you have trouble with skating, whatever it is you have trouble with. So we're probably going to cut you, but we want to keep you around. So you're going to be the ball boy, you're going to be the water boy, whatever it is. And that way, when the players who are going on to the NFL, to the NHL, to the N whatever L, they're going on their merits, that other guy is back and learning to be a coach. So let's assume that professional athlete has a career of 3 years. Comes in, not good, not bad, makes the league average. Let's just say he makes about $1 million total in his total career. Then he decides he wants to get into coaching. Well, that guy who was the ball boy and the water boy now has 5 years of experience of being a coach. So a player's success works against them because they can't just walk in and say, okay, I was the leading linebacker for this organization and blah, blah, blah. Now I want to be a coach when this other person who doesn't have as much time on the field, has way more experience in the boardroom. And they're able to say, okay, this is the way I want to structure an offense. This is the way I want my defense to go. They're able to use all the buzzwords. So Brian Flores is right. But is that an indictment of the Miami Dolphins or the entire sporting world? I'd say the latter. It's not fair because successful athletes are actually punished long term. Now, that being said, I do not have any loyalty to any particular athlete simply because they have no loyalty towards me. And I don't expect them to. They have to do what they need to do for their family. The problem comes when you root for a team, say the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, born and bred in Toronto, I can't get around being around the Maple Leafs. My favorite team is actually another team, but, I am a Toronto fan, born and bred. I don't root for the players. Don't care who the players are. During the offseason, they're saying, oh, we're close to the cap, and this guy might fit, and that guy might fit, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's their business. Care about the color on their back. Nothing else. Oh, well, this person was driving drunk and caught this. Don't care. It's a product on the field. Same way I view Britney Spears. She's a product. Now, I imagine by now she's doing a lot more of her own stuff, but just like an athlete, he's part of a product, and she's part of a product. And we're unfortunately buying that product. And even more so when it comes to off-season stuff where we become obsessive little groupies and we actually care about these people's lives. Hey, neither Britney Spears nor Wayne Gretzky nor anybody else is ever going to listen to this podcast. And that's their right. I give them that right. I give them their freedom. They're good at one thing. Maybe if you are really good in establishing your own charity, yeah, I'll get behind that. Other than that, this cultish devotion to entertainment and sports figures is truly disturbing. There's very few of them that are paragons of virtue, and even the ones who are usually aren't. And there's no better way to describe this than it's really a return to the gladiator schools of combat where you'd have different tribes of gladiators and each one would come out and introduce themselves, and kind of like sports teams in the present world. And the Roman emperors knew this, and they would bring them out and flash their potential right whenever they wanted to calm the public down. The ancient Roman gladiators used to wash themselves down with olive oil. That olive oil was saved, it was scraped off of them, and it was sold to the public. Can you imagine this in the present world? Oh wait, it exists. Game-worn jerseys. We're doing the same stuff. Some things never change for humans. We value a game-worn jersey, something that player has, sweated in, possibly spit in, possibly even bled in, over a nice, pristine jersey. It's the same stuff over again. The cult doesn't make sense, but it's never going to stop. I would rather, personally, watch one of those gaming videos where the guy speed runs Super Mario in 10 seconds or whatever the heck the latest record is. Then I would sit around and talk about hockey during the off season, or talk about Britney Spears when she's not doing anything at the present time. If you may recall, a few years ago, Brett Favre got busted because he was taking pictures of his todger and sending it off to various females. Boy, the news media exploded with that all at once, and now it's not mentioning. All of a sudden, he's a great ambassador of the game again. This behavior is criminal, and it needs to stop, and I don't know what we need to do to stop it. But we should have no more slavish devotion to these gladiators of the gridiron or whatever you want to glorify them as. With that being said, We hope you enjoyed this edition of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, buy some of the merchandise, which are the books listed in the description below, and we hope you have a fantastic day.